Join me as I dive into the mind of parents and try to figure out why they make those totally weird decisions. As kids, we've all been there. Our parents make a decision that leaves us scratching our heads, wondering what on earth they were thinking. Whether it's something as simple as, why do we have to eat vegetables? Or as complex as, why can't I get a tattoo? The choices our parents make often seem irrational, unreasonable, and just plain weird. But have you ever stopped to think about what's actually going on behind those decisions? One of the biggest challenges we face in understanding our parents' decisions is the generational gap. Let's face it, our parents grew up in a different time, with different values and different experiences, and that means they have a different perspective on the world. It's like trying to understand a foreign language. We might be able to pick up on a few words or phrases, but without immersing ourselves in the culture, we're never going to fully get it. Our parents' perspectives are shaped by their own upbringing, their own experiences, and their own values. And that means they're going to make decisions that might seem strange to us, but make perfect sense to them. Take, for example, the way our parents approach technology. To them, social media might seem like a scary, uncharted territory, but to us, it's second nature. So when they try to limit our screen time or restrict our access to certain websites, it's not because they're trying to be controlling, it's because they're trying to protect us from what they see as a threat. But the generational gap is only part of the problem. Our parents are also influenced by their own fears, biases, and prejudices. They might be worried about our safety, our well-being, or our future. And those fears can lead them to make decisions that seem irrational or overprotective to us. But to them, those decisions are a matter of survival. Psychological factors also play a huge role in shaping our parents' decisions. For one, nostalgia can be a powerful influencer. Our parents might look back on their own childhood and remember the good old days, when things were simpler, safer, and more innocent. And they might try to recreate that for us, even if it means making decisions that seem outdated or old-fashioned to us. Fear is another key factor. Our parents might be afraid of us getting hurt, of us making mistakes, or of us failing. And those fears can lead them to make decisions that are overly cautious or restrictive. Societal pressures are another key influencer. Our parents might feel pressure from their peers, from the media, or from their own communities to make certain choices or follow certain rules. And those pressures can be incredibly powerful, even if they don't always make sense to us. Take, for example, the pressure to get good grades, to go to college, or to get a good job. Those might seem like universal values, but they can lead our parents to make decisions that prioritize achievement over happiness or success over fulfillment. But perhaps the most significant influencer of all is our parents' own upbringing. The way they were raised, the values they were taught, and the experiences they had all shaped their decisions as parents. And that means that they're often passing on the same values, rules, and expectations to us, even if they don't always make sense in today's world. I know, for example, that my parents always emphasized the importance of hard work and perseverance. And that's because they grew up in a time when those values were essential to survival. But for me, those values sometimes feel outdated, restrictive, or even oppressive. I remember when I was a teenager, my parents refused to let me get a part-time job. To me, it seemed like an unnecessary restriction, a way for them to control my life. But looking back, I realized that they were trying to protect me from the harsh realities of the workforce. They didn't want me to burn out, to lose my childhood, or to compromise my education. And that realization changed everything for me. It made me realize that our parents' decisions, no matter how weird they might seem, are always motivated by a desire to protect us, to help us, and to guide us. So what can we take away from all of this? One key insight is that our parents' decisions are never just about us. They're about our parents themselves, their own experiences, and their own values. And that means that understanding our parents' decisions requires empathy, patience, and a willingness to see things from their perspective. By doing so, we can build stronger, more loving relationships with our parents, and we can learn to appreciate the weird, irrational, and often wonderful decisions they make. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear about your own experiences with your parents' weird decisions in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about the psychology behind parenting, be sure to check out our next video on the surprising ways that parenting styles shape our personalities.